celei mai mari și mai puternice alianțe militare din istorie, NATO, și a parteneriatului nostru strategic cu Statele Unite. Încercări lamentabile au fost făcute de actuala coaliție de guvernare pentru a dialoga cu administrația de la Washington. Avem aici oameni importanți, oameni de business, oameni politici, care vin să transmită un mesaj important. Avem nevoie de două țări puternice pe flancul de est al NATO, de România și de Polonia, și de parteneri racordați ideologic la agenda administrației de la Washington. Reiterez faptul că voi participa la toate dezbaterile electorale cu contracandidatul meu și în lipsa contracandidatului meu. Sper ca echipele de negociere să găsească o formă rapidă ca prima dezbatere să aibă loc în această seară, fără aranjamente, fără întrebări ascunse. Suntem cât se poate de transparenți și de aceea vrem să asigurăm către toți reprezentanții media interviuri adaptate la situația în care suntem astăzi și la timpul scurt pe care îl avem până pe data de 18 mai. Vă mulțumesc și vă rog să participați la această dezbatere în mod activ și să-i ascultăm pe partenerii noștri din Statele Unite, care au străbătut fiecare câte 17-20 de ore pentru a fi prezenți la dezbaterea noastră, fapt pentru care doresc să le mulțumesc și vă mulțumesc și dumneavoastră.
Bună ziua, bine ați venit la Forumul de Afaceri Româno-American pe care îl organizăm, Centrul Român de Studii și Strategii, în colaborare cu grupul parlamentar AUR din Camera Deputaților. Avem oaspeți din Statele Unite, avem și companii americane din România invitate. Pentru a fi în regulă față de toată lumea, voi încerca să prezint, să introduc vorbitorii români în limba engleză și pe cei americani în limba română. Hello, thank you for joining us in this event. We are glad to share with you our views, especially Mr. George Simion views regarding the economic policy we should have and regarding also the democratic framework in our country. We will try to introduce the American guest in Romanian language for our Romanian guests and the Romanian speakers in English. So let's start with Mr. George Simion, which is Member of Parliament, President of the Alianța pentru Unirea Românilor Party. He's a conservative politician and former civic activist, the founder and president of the party, Alliance for the Union of Romanians, Alianța pentru Unirea Românilor, and the youngest leader of a parliamentary party in Romania. December 2024, he was re-elected as a deputy, confirming the trust that Romanians continue to place in his leadership and vision. Following this electoral success, he was also unanimously voted as Vice President of the European Conservative and Reformist ECR Party, strengthening Romanians' influence in the European conservative movement. Sunday, in the first round of the presidential elections, he won a historical 41%, qualifying from the first place in the second round with an almost 20% difference on the floor.
Thank you. I will want to start my speech with some remarks in Romanian language because the media is very agitated by our landslide victory on Sunday. Some of them were not expecting such a victory, even if some of them were accomplice to the coup d'etat that happened on the 6th of December. Aș vrea să fac câteva remarci, chiar dacă nu sunt subiectul acestei conferințe pe care o să vă rog să o respectați, despre felul în care actualul președinte interimar alege să ia în derâdere voința românilor și să îl pună în funcția de premier interimar pe cel mai abuziv dintre miniștri, omul care a participat la lovitura de stat dată pe 6 decembrie împotriva poporului român. Este o rușine faptul că domnul Cătălin Predoiu ocupă fie și interimar până când fie eu, fie Nicușor Dan vom ocupa locul de președinte, scaunul de premier. Am gândit acest eveniment cu mult înainte de a ști că voi fi competitor electoral. Acest eveniment are ca țintă îmbunătățirea relațiilor dintre România și Statele Unite, relații deteriorate grav în ultimele luni din cauza atacului asupra democrației în România. Așa că o să rog toți membrii presei, adversarii politici să respecte acest eveniment, care nu este unul electoral, ci este unul care își propune relansarea parteneriatului strategic cu Statele Unite. Pentru că există foarte mare interes pentru campania prezidențială, sigur, mulți nu se așteptau să avem o victorie atât de clară duminică. Vreau să vă anunț că din acest moment eu sunt pregătit să încep dezbaterile electorale cu competitorul meu, Nicușor Dan. Echipa mea de campanie va contacta în următoarele minute echipa de campanie a domnului Nicușor Dan și sperăm ca diseară pe toate posturile de televiziune, pe toate rețelele de socializare, să putem fi în fața românilor, pentru că este normal ca românii să ne audă, să vadă care sunt opțiunile noastre cu privire la viitorul țării, cu privire la alianțele noastre internaționale. Dacă unii mă confund că mă tem sau că sunt speriat, înseamnă că nu au înțeles cine este George Simion și nu au văzut parcursul meu în toți acești ani. Voi sta cu demnitate în fața românilor și vreau să vă anunț pe toate instituțiile media prezente aici că aș dori să onorez publicațiile dumneavoastră, dând interviuri fiecăruia dintre dumneavoastră, la fel veți lua legătura cu colegii mei, indiferent de orientarea ideologică și indiferent cum vă finanțați și cine vă finanțează. Sunt disponibil inclusiv să dau interviuri domnului Prelipceanu, domnului Gâdea, domnului Ciutacu, care în prima parte a campaniei nu au făcut nimic altceva decât să ne atace, să ne defăimeze, să răspândească minciuni despre noi. Atâta timp cât facem acest lucru într-un cadru civilizat, cât stabilim regulile dezbaterii, eu sunt aici, în fața românilor și nu plec, pentru că eu cred în cauza dreaptă pe care o reprezint. Așa că o să vă rog să luați legătura cu biroul nostru de presă. Astăzi, până la ora 21, voi da interviuri, unul după altul, pentru presa națională și pentru presa internațională. Avem deja o parte din presa internațională prezentă aici. Avem deja planificate interviuri pentru Rai, pentru Bloomberg, pentru Berliner Zeitung și pentru presa din România, înțeleg, pentru Euronews, care va face și un material în limba engleză. Așadar, vă rog să purtăm într-un cadru civilizat dezbaterile electorale și să respectați acest eveniment, care nu este un eveniment electoral, ci este un eveniment care își propune repararea relației pe care noi o avem cu Statele Unite. Now I will switch back to English. I want to make a longer speech because it is important that we clarify all aspects. This is an event for business purposes, with businessmen, with investors, parliamentarians, and experts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to attend this esteemed gathering of distinguished individuals from Romania and the United States, and also I am happy to see friends from Poland, Richard Czarnecki, or from Spain, Victor Gonzalez. I'm friends with many of you. We met in Capitol Hill, we met in Washington, D.C. Paul Coyer, thank you for organizing this event. Matthew Schlapp, thank you for being here and being a true friend, and thank you for all that you are doing with the conservative political action. You have been smeared by the global, and we are smeared in campaign. You know how to lead a good fight, and we are proud to stand with you. Also, our friend Brian Brown, who felt it's imperative to be present at this significant event. My political party, the Alliance for the Union of Romanians, AUR, and myself, we are convinced Atlantists. We resolutely support Romania's membership in the NATO military alliance, as well as the strategic partnership between Romania and the United States, established in 1997 and renewed through the joint declaration of strategic partnership between Romania and the United States in 2011. We share common values with the Trump administration and the MAGA, Make America Great Again movement in the United States. I believe that partnership is strong only when founded on shared values. Regrettably, the ruling coalition that lost its prime minister yesterday has, within a few months, degraded the bilateral relationship between Romania and the United States to a level reminiscent of decades past, prior to post-communist Romania's entry into the strategic partnership with the United States and its accession to NATO. Precisely for this reason, I have interrupted my electoral campaign activities that were ongoing in Transylvania to be here with you in the Romanian Parliament. I consider the national interest more important than this crazy race for the vote of the Romanian people. And I believe that the Romanian people will make the right decisions if we have fair and free elections. I shall refrain from delving further into the adverse effects on the relationship with the United States caused by the current administration in Bucharest. It is my sincere hope that we can overcome these challenges and restore our mutual ties to their former vigor. The likely consequence of the actions undertaken by the authorities in Bucharest and the attack on democracy we have witnessed in December last year was the suspension of Romania's participation in the visa waiver program by the US government on March 25. This would have allowed Romanian citizens to enter the United States without visas. This was followed by the complete exclusion of Romania from this program on May 2nd. This development is indeed regrettable and poses a threat to business relations. However, I remain optimistic that we can address this issue and progress towards a more favorable resolution. The speech I am having now will be called a speech that is an attack on Romania by some leftist media, such as J.D. Vance's speech in Munich Security Conference was called by G4 Media and other media outlets, globalist outlets, as an attack on Romania. I am telling the truth. I am explaining in English and in Romanian why Romania was expelled from the visa waiver program. Now, in light of the forthcoming presidential elections on May 18th, for which I am a candidate with promising prospects, I deemed it mandatory to attend this distinguished conference. My presence here is to affirm to our American counterparts that should I be elected president of Romania, the strategic partnership between Romania and the United States will be revitalized and strengthened. The strategic partnership between Romania and the United States is exceptionally robust in the domains of security and defense, and I am very glad that through the speakers in this conference, we have people that are dealing with defense and security issues. Now, beyond the NATO alliance, our bilateral military relations are firmly established and historically significant. Notably, approximately 50,000 Romanian military personnel have been deployed in various operational theaters such as Iraq, Afghanistan, and other global regions, serving alongside their American counterparts with unwavering dedication. The framework of the United States military engagement in Romania is firmly established by the Defense Cooperation Agreement. On Romania territory, American forces operate in conjunction with the Romanian military at several bases, airports, and training grounds, including the 99th Military Base Deveselu, a Romanian NATO base that hosts the United States Navy Aegis Ashore Ballistic Missile Defense System, and the MK, Mihail Cogălnicianu base. Now, you should know that Romania is investing 2.5 billion from its own budget for the expansion and modernization of this base, which is set to become one of the most significant American bases in Europe. Romania is also a major buyer of American weapons. Relative to the size of its GDP, Romania is one of the main European clients of American defense contractors. It is frequently asserted that the United States is Romania's most significant partner in terms of security and defense, while the European Union represents our country's largest economic partner. Should I be elected president of Romania, my ambition is to elevate the economic partnership with the United States to a level of importance commensurated with our military alliance. There is substantial potential for business and investment in the military sector. I am keenly observing Poland's collaboration with Lockheed Martin in the production of helicopters, and Romania boasts a long-standing tradition in the aeronautical industry, including the manufacturing of helicopters in Brașov. In Romania, we will also produce military drones in partnership with our American partners at Cargill and Israeli counterparts. Romania has procured billions of dollars worth of weaponry from American defense contractors. I advocate for the inclusion of an industrial cooperation clause in these procurement contracts. This clause would encourage joint production and joint exports with a Romanian partner. If American investors were to establish industrial capabilities in Romania registered as Romanian companies, I am confident they could secure a share of these contracts. We already have a solid foundation for bilateral economic relations, but I believe that the foundation should merely be the beginning. There is an important $6 billion project that an American consortium will implement for a state-owned nuclear energy company in Romania. The funds for this initiative will be provided through a credit from Exim Bank USA. Romania represents a substantial market and is highly favorable to foreign investment. Due to the close political relationship between Romania and the United States, numerous prominent American companies are currently successfully conducting business in our country. Among these companies are ADM, Bunge, Cargill, Citibank, Coca-Cola, Palmolive, Borg-Warner, Flexatronics, General Electric, Hewlett-Packard, Honeywell, Johnson Controls, Raytheon, Microsoft, Oracle, Smithfield Foods, and many across various sectors. There are currently in Romania 2,412 companies with American shareholders and 1,647 companies that have a majority of American ownership. Should I be elected, I will undoubtedly advocate for Romanian interest akin to how President Donald J. Trump supports American interests. However, our respective interests converge, presenting an opportune scenario whereby my potential presidency would significantly favor American investments and enterprises in Romania. Now, you should know that Romania represents a substantial market capable of absorbing American investments. Furthermore, it benefits greatly from its membership in the European Union and the European single market. Establishing thus a presence in Romania allows American companies to automatically access the single market that is the largest market worldwide, surpassing even the American market. And in this single market where goods, services, and labor move freely without borders and custom duties, I see Romania's future. And Romanian American interests. For instance, once an American product is certified in Romania, this certification is valid throughout the single market without requiring further certification in other EU countries. American enterprises can establish their headquarters in Romania, taking advantage of a flat corporate tax rate of 16% and subsequently sell their products or services across any European country without incurring additional taxes. I elaborate on these points to emphasize my aspiration for Romania to become a central hub for American companies operating in this region. Upon examining the map, it is evident that Romania is the largest EU member state within the area between Istanbul, Rome, Prague, and Athens. Therefore, I extend an invitation for you, for your friends, for your other businessmen to establish your regional company centers here in Bucharest and in Romania. The Trump administration has increased tariffs on imports from the European Union into the United States. Currently, this tariff is suspended. Should I be elected President of Romania, I intend to address this issue with President Donald J. Trump. Naturally, it would be impossible to negotiate a reduction in customs tariffs exclusively for Romania, as our country is part of the European single market and is bound by the same customs regulations as other EU member states. However, I plan to propose other compensatory measures to President Trump to mitigate the impact of this increase on Romania. Specifically, I will advocate for the enhancement of American investments in Romania, which would be advantageous for American companies seeking to establish a presence in our nation. While President Trump and I both advocate for free markets, we recognize that governments have various mechanisms to support this goal, such as through assistance from Exim Bank USA. Should I be elected President of Romania, one of my initial foreign visits will likely to be in Rome, Italy. This visit is due to the recent discussions between Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, our esteemed friend and ally, and President Donald Trump regarding the commercial relationship between the European Union and the United States. I aim to consult with Prime Minister Meloni, as both she and I advocate for Western and transatlantic unity. The increase in tariffs directly impacts Romanian exports to the United States, particularly in the sectors of electrical machinery and equipment, steel, aluminium, and tires. Additionally, it has an indirect effect on Romania in the automotive industry, because parts of the automobiles we produce for companies in Germany and other European nations, which then export vehicles to the US market. During the suspension period of these custom tariffs imposed by the Trump administration, I am hopeful that a negotiated resolution will be achieved. As President of Romania, I will actively participate in the European Council of Heads of State and Government, also known as the European Council. This forum represents the highest authority within the European Union, and there I will advocate against any trade conflict between the EU and the US. My stance will be in favor of any negotiated resolution that result in the Trump administration dropping the 20% custom tariffs on European products exported to the US. I am committed to ensuring that the trade relationship between Romania and the United States is equitable and transparent to foster mutual progress. For instance, in Romania we can enhance our efforts in copyright protection to safeguard the interests of companies within the American film industry. As previously stated, I am dedicated to advocating for Romanian interests, just as President Trump supports American interests. However, it is in Romania's best interest to host a robust presence of American companies. You will discover a welcoming and allied nation under the umbrella of American military protection, and you will encounter a favorable business environment. Should I be elected, I will be a president eager to listen and to support your endeavors. Thank you for your patience. May God bless our nations. Thank you. Mulțumesc. Vreau să accentuez faptul că sunt, din păcate, în această cursă pentru turul al doilea al alegerilor prezidențiale, singurul candidat care are relații cu administrația Trump și vede în continuare strategia noastră de securitate ca fiind formată din 3 piloni, ca parte a Uniunii Europene, ca parte a celei mai mari și mai puternice alianțe militare din istorie, NATO, și a parteneriatului nostru strategic cu Statele Unite. Încercări lamentabile au fost făcute de actuala coaliție de guvernare pentru a dialoga cu administrația de la Washington. Avem aici oameni importanți, oameni de business, oameni politici, care vin să transmită un mesaj important. Avem nevoie de 2 țări puternice pe flancul de est al NATO, de România și de Polonia, și de parteneri racordați ideologic la agenda administrației de la Washington. Reiterez faptul că voi participa la toate dezbaterile electorale cu contracandidatul meu și în lipsa contracandidatului meu. Sper ca echipele de negociere să găsească o formă rapidă ca prima dezbatere să aibă loc în această seară, fără aranjamente, fără întrebări ascunse. Suntem cât se poate de transparenți și de aceea vrem să asigurăm către toți reprezentanții media interviuri adaptate la situația în care suntem astăzi și la timpul scurt pe care îl avem până pe data de 18 mai. Vă mulțumesc și vă rog să participați la această dezbatere în mod activ și să-i ascultăm pe partenerii noștri din Statele Unite, care au străbătut fiecare câte 17-20 de ore pentru a fi prezenți la dezbaterea noastră, fapt pentru care doresc să le mulțumesc și vă mulțumesc și dumneavoastră.